Let's get his take on how Russia's invasion of Ukraine is currently affecting, well, access to oil and the price implication. Because I'm interested from your takes about, clearly President Biden trying to do everything to stop the pressure being felt on U.S. citizens at the gas pump. But for now, are we likely to see prices rise? What more can he do apart from tapping strategic reserves?
Well, we have to keep in mind that there was a supply-demand imbalance prior to this invasion of Ukraine. So we're very concerned about what this is going to mean for commodity prices going forward. But I think the important thing to keep in mind is that the Biden administration, all of their talk has been great in terms of the importance of American energy leadership. But at the same time, we're concerned that a number of the policies that they've put forward aren't really meeting the rhetoric that they've been putting forward the last couple of days. In fact, just this weekend, the Biden administration put in place a plan to put another moratorium on leasing on both federal lands and in federal waters. That's the exact opposite kind of thing that we should be doing at a time of international crisis.
We have seen various measures coming from the Biden administration since they took office in terms of pressure against big oil. What are you seeing from your members and really these big oil companies about their willingness to engage with the administration now?
Well, we've wanted to work with this administration from the beginning of this administration, and our door is open to work with them every single day on these important issues. I will say that energy producers in the United States are stepping up to meet the demand increase as a consequence of the end of the pandemic and, of course, of this global supply crunch. In fact, the Permian Basin, which is the most prolific basin in the United States, reached record numbers in terms of production last month at 5 million barrels a day. Rig counts continue to go up. The American energy producers are trying to meet the demand that is being put in place by higher prices, of course, and this terrible crisis going on in Ukraine.
Mike, Russian crude has escaped sanctions for now. Do you think that will still be the ultimate result? Should that be the ultimate decision?
Well, we have to remember that Russia is basically a petro-state now. Almost all of their economy is based on oil and natural gas export. They have a lot more oil and gas than what they use on a daily basis. And certainly the income that they derive as a consequence of that production is fueling this war effort. At the same time, we want to make sure that energy prices remain low for American consumers and for world consumers. So we're going to leave it up to our international negotiators, those at the Treasury Department and those at the State Department to determine what the right sanctions mix is to make sure that Russia's ambition is properly put into place at this time.
Mike, I just want to get your take on the opportunities here for some of the U.S. energy companies, in particular LNG-focused ones, because many have now thought that with Europe having been so dependent on Russia, they're now going to look for liquefied natural gas from other sources, in particular the United States. Where is that opportunity right now?
Well, in fact, American producers are trying to meet that demand. For the first time ever, Europe is actually importing more LNG from the United States than they are getting gas from Russia. That is good news for European consumers. In fact, our exports last month, 37% of them were going to Europe. Now over 50% of U.S. LNG exports are going to Europe, and more is coming. But at the same time, we hear rumors of 6 applications at the Department of Energy for more LNG development here in the United States being held up at the Department of Energy. And now is not the time to be holding up those applications. We should be expediting those applications. We should be expediting American energy infrastructure during this time of world crisis.
Mike, how do you expect the Iranian nuclear negotiations, and if we see more progress on that front, to affect the price of oil?
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of Iranian oil offshore right now, floating in offshore tankers that can't be delivered as a consequence of American sanctions. Again, those negotiations sound like they are making progress, and we're continuing to monitor those negotiations here at the American Petroleum Institute. But we understand there's about 3 million barrels of crude that could be put on the market almost immediately if those negotiations are successful.